he reliable to you? No. So guess what? Freedom, right? So access to places to rest and sleep and things to do are absolutely a reward system. What a good boy. You're doing so excellent. See how he's holding eye contact with you? Good. And I stretch that moment because I want him to be rewarded for the behavior I'm getting. Frankie, good job, buddy. You're doing such a good job, bud. Excellent, good. That was good 7-8 seconds of contact with me. Once again, he's in and down. He offered the down, so I stepped on the leash. Why? I don't want him to dismiss himself from the down. I want him to learn that downing is going to be about duration. But he can't grasp this concept yet. This is why, for me, what a good boy. So once again, he only hears his name when I'm changing the command, and he was in a down, so I'm now going to tell him to H-E-E-L, but I'm going to say his name. Frankie, heel. Come on, bud. Good boy. Once again, he moves with me. The food only happens. See the jumping? Perfect. The food, Frankie, heel. Good. He wasn't there, so now heel. Oh, look at the position. That's the only place that food ever gets delivered when he's walking with me on leash. Heel. The reason I didn't say his name is it's the same command. What your dog will learn very quickly is he hears his name when things are going to change. Heel. Good. Now I'm going to say to him, Frankie, sit. Good boy. Look how light that pressure is. Frankie, down. This is a new one for him, right? He thinks something's in my hand. Whoops, sorry, bud. This is why it takes a few minutes to handle the leash. If I had stepped on his paw when he first met me, he might say, okay, this guy steps on my paws. Frankie, sit. Good boy. What a good job. Excellent job, bud. See where the leash is, Julia? See how it's forming a little bit of a loop, but it's not on the ground? This way I can say to him, Frankie, down. He feels down pressure. He collapses under that pressure. What a good boy. What a good dog. I don't make him reach for the treat. I come down to him and feed him. Good boy. Good. And he's even getting a little touch with me. Once again, I'm going to change the command. Frankie, heel. Good boy. Good. So what he's getting is a whole bunch of things from me right now. Number one, he's getting rewarded for focusing on me. I can move him around. He's not even paying attention to mommy, and he's not trying to jump on Vin. Why? Because he's busy being engaged with me. Frankie, sit. Good. How about that? No pressure at all. Now, that does not mean that I won't use leash pressure, because the fact that he's been working with me for 20 minutes and it looks like a circus act has nothing to do with him being, what a good boy. Now, here's the food. If I give him the food for looking at it, he just assumes that's what. If I get him, I'm using my nose so that he looks in my eyes, what a good boy. So I can take food out. Frankie, good. He got food for breaking his gaze at the food and looking back at me. These are all things about him learning to engage with me. Frankie, come. Good boy. So I might walk with my leash and then back up and say, Frankie, come. Good. What he's learning is to come in and touch my leg, right? I ignored the behavior. He nibbled at the leash. Good boy. Good, you're doing so good, buddy. What he's looking for is a treat. What I'm making him do is work harder for the treats. This is not about me trading treats for sits and downs or any behavior. It's about me marking moments that are important to me. What a good boy. What a good boy. Frankie, come. See how he comes all the way into me and touches my body? Because the food's on me. If I hand it to him, he can learn to come right up to me. Come on, bud. Good boy. Good boy. What a good job. Heel. Good boy. I'm going to have you take over in a moment, Julia. What I wanted to do is spend enough time with him where I don't build a habit, but he begins to understand what I'm asking for. So when you take over, because you got to learn to do it too. This is what people always say to me at this point. Oh my God, you're teaching me how to handle the dog. Right. If you don't know what you're doing, how can the dog possibly understand what you want? Frankie, sit. You hear how I called his name and he went, what? Why? Because his name now means good boy. So now he's decided to go into a down. So as long as he's put himself in a down, I'm just going to go ahead and put my foot on the leash. Why? Because now that I've got him here, If he breaks this position, I can guide him back into the down. If I had him in a stand and I suddenly start putting pressure on him with the leash, he may or may not react well to that, okay? Frankie, good boy. Once again, if he starts nibbling at your hand, I offer the food right on his nose. When his hand moves away from my hand, good boy. It opens up and he learns, all right, that's right, I forgot. Because like I said, you got his favorite tennis ball and he's like, oh my God, throw the ball, throw the ball. And he's jumping at you. I say, sit. And the dog goes, no, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. And then finally they go, boom, and they sit and I go, wham, and they go, oh. And they begin to understand that their behavior affects what happens for them. And they start reinforcing their obedience in order to get what they want. He wants to touch you. So if he jumps on you and you go, hey baby, down. In that moment, what he gets is touch and love, and he's getting mixed messages. And that's why it's not about you yelling at the dog, but it's about you being consistently clear with the dog. If you're feeding, you're going to do the leash manners and you'll learn, and he'll go, okay, it's the same with mommy as it is with Julia. And then your husband, and guess what? The three of you will reinforce the behavior you have with the dog. Then I can start to introduce strangers and other animals because he understands his leash behavior. And because he understands his leash behavior, he learns, there's a dog though. And then all of a sudden he starts to say, okay, I have to do the same things I did when that person came over, or when the TV was on, or when there were people in the backyard. But they don't naturally know these things. Here's the pressure. He stood up. I haven't done anything. He lays back down. What a good boy. What a good boy. Now, if I drop my hand by my side, he's going to try and get the food. And he's breaking the down. So when I offer food to him, good boy, I make sure he gets it in a position where he doesn't have to come out of the position. Does that make sense? Okay. This way, he's not going, I have to fight to get that treat. Just think about it. I have to fight to touch mommy. I have to fight to go to Julia. When I step off the leash, there's no pressure on it. Frankie, heel. Good boy. What a good dog. Now, when his nose goes and I'm going somewhere and he decides to go somewhere else, I go, if I'm walking this way and he goes that way, I say, heel. And when he comes towards me, good boy. The leash relaxes. He learns all of these things are about, Frankie, sit. He relaxed, the leash goes away. Frankie, down. He goes down. A little bit of scent on the ground. When he goes down, the leash pressure goes away. Good boy. So what he's learning to do is turn the leash off. Unfortunately, what's going on, and good for you that you've done any of it, is that for you, leash with him means you have to use pressure to keep him in position. What I'm doing is showing him that I'm going to take the leash away. I'm going to step off that position. Good boy. Boom. When I first got here and said good boy,